Is The Witcher Old World a great game or the greatest game? Okay, I know that sounded silly, but I'm just so excited to share with you what this game offers because it is worth the big box that it comes in, and I just keep wanting to play it. And I've played it with almost all the player counts except for 5, and I don't know if I want to play with 5 because it takes so long to get back around to my turn. Which is what makes this game so fun. There is some downtime when it's not your turn, but there are ways that the game asks other players to engage with players when it's not your turn. So it's not a complete just waste of time while you wait for someone else to take their turn, because there are 2 features in this game that pull you in when you're not playing. So what are players doing in The Witcher Old World? Well, you are going around and exploring the land, trying to raise your stats and your skills. There are 4 different attributes that you care about, one of which is your specialty associated with your school, which means every Witcher that you play, there are 5 Witchers in the game box. They each have their very own specialty that activates during battle. And it's just really cool, super special, and you just should not forget about that super cool special thing, because it will function kind of like when you get a trophy and you will tuck that trophy under your Witcher board, allowing you to have a special something. Usually when you're fighting, this game will grow and it will develop and it will hone your specialty and your skills, not just in your personal player board and those attributes, because yes, you are going to get stronger and better and you're going to level up and level up and level up, hopefully to level 5. And if you get your markers up to that spot that is the colored spot at the top of each of those attributes, you can meditate. And meditate means that you are just amazing. You are an expert in combat, defense, or alchemy, or your specialty, whatever that is, and you're going to meditate. And meditate says, yes, I am amazing. And you take a trophy that matches that particular attribute that you top the charts with. You only get to do 1 at a time, but that is 1 step closer to you winning the game. So meditating is one way to earn those steps towards victory. You will want to do 4 cool things in this game. And cool things, I know, is a loose term for meditate or fight. And when you fight, you want to defeat a monster or a Witcher. So essentially there are those 2 major actions, meditate and fight. Whether you fight a Witcher or a monster and you defeat them, you move up on a track. And when you move up on a track, you have to cull your deck. But again, the first person to climb that track and get to the 4th success will trigger the end of the game and they win immediately. So you can fight. Fighting is just fun. Fighting is fun, and the way that other players are getting involved when it's not their turn is they are operating as the monster. They will get the monster deck shuffled up. They will decide whether they're going to bite or they're going to ram before they turn the card over, because there are always 2 choices on a monster card, and you will activate whichever one you said ahead of time, and that's going to be the monster's random, attack on the player. If you're Witcher versus Witcher, you're clearly playing as a Witcher yourself with your own deck, playing against the opponent who came and tried to attack you to earn a trophy from you that they will get to keep. And of course, yes, that's going to move them up on the win track, the victory track. So fights are engaging, and they use cards because this is a deck builder, and you are building your deck every single round through a variety of events in exploration or by grabbing a selected card from the draw pile. And there is this display of cards on the board, have a variety of costs. And cost is interesting here because you're not paying gold. You're actually paying cards from your hand to discard to your discard pile, meaning every card you discard to buy a new cool card means you're not getting that card as an action towards movement in the next round. So buying 0 cards, or cards that are worth 0 points, are good because you're not spending anything to get it, but you're also not kind of upgrading your deck. And you always want to be upgrading your deck to cooler, better cards because the cards are dual purpose. On your turn, you're going to walk around gaining skills, gambling, hunting monsters and getting these tokens that allow you to track them. So many different cool things. And you do that by playing a card from your hand that matches the symbol to where you're going. You're either going into a woods area, you're going into a mountain area, or you're going into a water, ocean, coast area. And so you're going to see those different symbols, the green, the gray, or the blue. But when you fight, you shuffle up your whole deck, and you're looking now at the banners that are on the left side. And the banners are going to allow you to chain your attacks because you're only allowed to play 1 card when you fight, unless you have a potion that allows you to do something special and unique. So you play 1 card, and that 1 card hopefully has a tab. And that tab says you can play another card that matches that tab's color. And then that card might have tabs that allow you to play another card. And then you chain. And you can play a whole chain as long as they're all connected to that very first card. And you do attack, which is damage to the monster. You will gain defense, which raises your shield. You will gain cards into your hand or perhaps lose cards. And that is how you fight. And it's just one back and forth, fight, 1 person, monster, 1 person, monster, and you will fight to the death. Whoever runs out of hit points. And the hit points, so smart. It is your deck of cards. So as you grow your deck of cards, you are growing your life points, your hit points. And if you run out of hit points before the monster does, you're defeated. And you want to win because it gives you the trophy, it gives you gold, it gives you success on the victory track, and it just gets you 1 step closer to winning the game. Plus, winning against a monster is just fun. It's just fun. And when you have a fantastic deck, you want to go out and fight all the monsters, level 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. But level 3, they're really hard. They have high hit points, and they have a really, really cool ability. So the monsters are scaled to where it's easier in the beginning when you're a little weaker to fight those level 1 monsters. But then you can fight 2, and then you can fight level 3 monsters, and you can fight other witchers who have really, really good decks. And it just gives you a chance to play with what you've designed, because you're designing this deck for 2 purposes, for movement and for fighting. And it's just a really, really clean system. It's smart. I love the way the cards work. I love that your actions are the amount of cards that you have in your hand that you play down, moving to locations. Move, activate the location. Move, activate the location, move, activate. And that's like the first part of your turn when you take your turn, is just playing all your cards out. And at the end of your movement phase, you decide, do I want to fight a monster if I'm in their space? Do I want to meditate if I have raised my attribute level to the tippy top? Or do I want to explore and have an adventure? So you get to draw from either the city deck or the wilds deck, and you will have an adventure. You'll pass the card to the player to your left or your right, and this is where you get to play when it's somebody else's turn. You will read a story to them. It's going to be a little paragraph, and it's going to tell them, oh, you walked through the city and someone, kicked dirt on you and said, witchers, these witchers are stupid. I don't like witchers. Witchers are monsters. They're creatures. They're an abomination. Do you? And then you read A or B. And you will say, it might say something like, just move on, walk on. People don't understand witchers. There's no need for you to mess around with these lowly scum. Or B, show them who's boss. Like pull out your sword and, taunt them or whatever. You can choose how you want to respond, and then the player is going to read the result or the effect of your choice. And it's going to tell you to do something, to gain something, to lose something, to go on a quest, to gain cards from the card row, to really boost your score, give you gold. Who knows what it's going to be, but whatever it is, it's amazing because it's a story. It's fun, it really builds your character, it makes you feel like you're actually going into a town and doing something and exploring the wilds and climbing mountains, and it's just so fun and immersive. I love the stories, I love the voices. The second you give a card to somebody and say read it, and there's like dialogue from like some elf or some merchant woman, it's fun. It's just so much fun. So there's just a little bit of that, a hint, even though it's guided, of a little bit of that tabletop role-playing experience, and you just have a great time playing it. So there are so many lovely features to this, and it just does this for me. It sings. It sings. It is a long game, and the fewer players you play with, the shorter the game, because every single person adds time. So be ready for that. Fighting Witcher versus Witcher isn't the worst thing, because if you fight a Witcher and you win, you don't actually hurt the Witcher. You're just taking a trophy and working towards the 4 different trophies that you have to win the game. And so you might lose. You might spend your whole turn fighting a Witcher and they win while they don't get your trophy. You also didn't get the trophy you thought you were going to get. But it's fun, and once you take a trophy from one Witcher, you can't go after them again. It's definitely got that feature that prevents you from attacking the same person again and again and again, because you won't earn a trophy. There's only one trophy for every other player in the game to earn from each singular Witcher. So with the Witcher special school abilities, the minis that come with the deluxe version, these monsters are so interesting and so unique. I love the way they look and sound and act. I love the fight cards. Those movement action cards to build your deck is just a really, really clever system. And I think that the stories and the adventure in those wilds and city decks are just dynamite. Just absolutely where the fun is, in addition to battling and fighting monsters, which is super, super duper fun. So I enjoy this. I think it fits perfectly with the IP, with The Witcher. The new season just came out on Netflix. I'm a big fan. Played the video game, watched the TV series, and now I have this game to add to my collection that I know my husband and I will play as a 2-player, or I will just sit down and play solo, because I found the solo game to be so fun. It is a race against how fast you can complete your objectives. You have to fight a level 1 monster, a level 2 monster, a level 3 monster, and you have to raise your attribute in one special area that's randomly determined to gain that trophy. Once you gain all 4, you just count how many turns it took you to get there, and you look at a chart to see how well you did, how well you stack up against what the game and the designers think is a, strong Witcher. And it's just fun. I loved the solo experience. I found it to be just fantastic. You can still gamble, you can still do storytelling. You just cover up the card and read it yourself. So loads and loads and loads and loads of fun. I really enjoyed it. Great game, the greatest game, I don't know, but it is fantastic. So thank you for joining me in The Witcher Old World overview and cool features, my favorite mechanics, and what I am loving about this game. Okay, everybody, that's it this time. Bye!